public education, maybe there are some persons that are there and they are in a place that maybe someone could stay there, but in private education there are people who pay for go to that place and start to learn some things that maybe in the public education they don't learn because they don't want. That's all.
So what? Education is a right and universal right, and I think it must be free and equal for everybody, no matter the money you have or wherever you came from. So if you want to pay, you are free to pay, but the public education should be in the whole country instead of trying to rise the private school as the new solution. Because as we have seen, the economic situation this year is getting even worse, and every day more people cannot afford an education, and well, I think it must be free, and even more this year with this crisis that is rising. Thank you.
If we accept public education, we are going to waste the money educating people that are going to fail all their exams, and they are going to finish working at Burger King.
Yeah, but for example, if you want to have the power in a country, for example, the politicians, people, maybe you have to have a good education. So to have a good education is not just paying money. It's being clever and being smart. So maybe there are smart people or intelligent people that have not got enough money to pay a private school. So they are going to study in a public school. So maybe they can be something more than just working in Burger King, as you said. And it's not just the rich people to have the power. The smart people, they are the ones who will have to get the power.
Yes, true. But for example, if the government support economically a poor person to learn in a private school, it will be better to use the money for this person and not for the people that is going to fail the exams. If you don't use your money or the money of the state in pay the school to a person that doesn't want to learn and is going to fail all the exams, you can afford the education of a clever people that you can give him an education in a private school or in a private university instead of waste your money in people that is not going to give you a benefit in the future.
But if a person fails their exams, it's because the education system is not okay. It's not the guilty of the person who fails, it's the guilty of the system.
It's the fault of the person that is being lazy and is not studying.
Yes, I agree with him. I think that if a person fails things, in some cases it's because he cannot do anything more, but in the half of the times the problem is the person. The person doesn't want to study anything, and he started to fail everything, and he doesn't do anything in class and doesn't make other people study because she's all the time disturbing the classroom. So that is a very bad thing for the rest of the people.
But maybe this is because that person doesn't receive the type of education that he needs.
We have to think that education is not only learning to add or multiply, it's also learning to know how to be to a person. There are maybe subjects that show you how you have to add, but for example, I think we have some subjects that help us how we have to be a person. For example, philosophy or something like that. So.
The half of the subjects that we learn are not to show us how to behave. There are subjects that are supposed to be to make learn us how to behave like ethics, but there are some people, the teaching of the ethics are not as good for showing us how to behave. Because in that subject, for example, instead of showing us the problems of the world, they show us films or something like that. So that's not a very
But
fair.
that's a problem for the teacher, not of the education system.
And that is the point. That everything depends in the teacher, and that cannot be like that.
But public education also show how to like go on with other people with not the same income at home as you. So it also shows you how the life is. We are not in the equality. So maybe you have more money at home and you are like going on at class with people that haven't got a lot of money. So that gives you like rights to for life.
Yes, but there is another thing that is the religion at the school that public education could not have, and if a person wants to education with the religion,
You can choose it.
yes, but with any help.
But it's optional. So if you want, you can.
You can like add to the class of that religion.
Yes, but the public education have other principles or religions that probably in a private school students can.
In a private tutor, computer.
Yeah. And maybe not everybody, every people can study a religion because it's not obligatory, for example, for another religions. Imagine another guy, a boy or girl from another country that they don't practice Christianity, for example. So he can't get to that private school because it's obligatory to learn the religion. So it's not even ethical or not to learn skills.
And what about if you don't want your son or daughter to go with people from the opposite sex? Does public school afford you that guarantee?
Yes, because the opposite sex can distract in
Yeah,
class.
but when you are leaving the school, you have to go on and talk and be with other sex. Or you are going to have
That's
your
your
life.
opinion?
Huh?
That's your opinion.
Yeah, because you are working, you have to work with people of the opposite sex.
You go to another country.
Yeah.
And nowadays we are competing between each other for getting a job place for work. So I think that nowadays the important thing is to compete with the others to get better things, better jobs. And in the public education, there are like you said before, there are mixing people that are there, and maybe they can disturb you in the way you are thinking.
But the school must teach the students to live and to let live. So in the school, kids have to learn that in their life they are going to stay and work and live and love people from every religion of love. And in the private school, you don't teach that. You only want the people to go in two different ways. Maybe men from a way and women another way, and that's completely incorrect. I mean, the next day, the day of tomorrow, you will stay in an office with people from all sex and religion. So, if in your school you have learned to separate people depending on their sex, I think that's nothing but.
In the past, it's happened.
Yeah, but now we are getting better, so the public education has gone like quality, and you are going to face that in your work life. You are going to be with people of other countries and with people of other sex.
In my opinion, I think that we have to think as a whole, not only on yours. And we don't have to think, I have to get a job. For example, we have to think, we have to save people from having cancer or other things. So imagine that if it's a poor people who can't afford education, who has the idea of how saving people from cancer. We can't, we have to pay them the education for develop this idea.
One thing that we are talking all the time is to learn how to be a citizen with the ethics. Or I believe that yes, school is very important, but if your parents teach you how to behave, why must you lose time in the school? In the school, you can, in your home, you can learn, for example, physics if your parents are in physics. You can't learn biology if your mother or your father isn't a doctor. But they can teach you how to behave. They can teach you your religion. So, be in a public school, losing your time by learning how to behave. If your parents must to teach it to you, I don't believe that is very useful. Another thing is the teachers. I have teachers of left wing, other of different political ideas. They can't. Sorry. They can't influence you, but they do. If you have a left-wing teacher and is talking in class, you can see her or his political ideas. So in a private school, you go with your son and you know if the teachers are left or right. If they have these ideas or those. So you can control what kind of ideas they are giving to your son.
But in first place, I think that maybe parents could be wrong. So maybe they show you or they teach you that if you can kill anybody if they harm you. But here in the school they teach us all the same thing, not one thing and others, because the society must have the same rules, not some and others. And in the other side, I think that if a teacher is from the right wing or the left, this is not an education problem, this is a teacher problem, and the teachers must teach you how you have to think, know what you have to think.
But no, not everyone has the privilege to have a father that knows physics. There are some families with lower friends, with workers' parents, and they can't teach them anything like for high work, like a political, or have a factory or so on. So it should be a free public education to give the opportunity to those children too, because even their families hasn't had that opportunity they should have, because they can be really good at school and you don't know that. So just give them the opportunity to try and to know if they are going to.
For the reason that people who cannot afford a place in a private school, he must or she must stay for working in a place like Burger King or something like that, that they could live with this budget, but not as well as someone who studies medicine who can do it.
Yes, but imagine a boy who is bright, is born in a family with little rescued, so he can never afford to work to go to a school, and that mind will be lost.
There are helps for people who are very brilliant students. They can go free to private and good universities.
But how do you know he's good if he's never going to
they
school?
have good marks.
No, but it's
in
not
public
private,
school.
it's not public school, so you can know if they are good because they haven't gone to school. So you should have a public school to know if there's.
No, that's not a reason, because if you are very clever and you have done classes at home, that's a reason, and you have very good marks, you have the right to go to a very good university, to have
But
have
if they
things in life.
if they don't have the chance to do some things at home,
Yes,
if
because
they are poor,
If they are poor, they are helps, as he has said, they are helps for making him improve his intelligence.
Yeah, maybe they're gonna pay something, but they're not gonna pay the all studies for that guy or girl studying in that university. They're just going to help him like for 1 year, 2 years, but they are not going to give him all the money for
But
finishing their career.
if they see that he is very intelligent and they give him 1 or 2 years, in that 1 or 2 years he will learn a lot, and he will find a way of continuing
But anyone.
studying.
But anyone, if they are just going to give him money to study, so what is he going to earn? If they just give him money to study, so what is he going to earn? If he's paying that money for studying, he's gonna earn nothing. There's gonna be 2 years, and then he's gonna go back to the public.
But it's necessary that people, it's necessary people that not study. It's necessary people who will work